Hi everybody, I'm Sarah Petrie. I'm Innovation Director at Mitchell and Scotland Innovation Park, and I'm here to tell you a little bit about our recently launched Innovation Challenge. This is our first ever launch of a challenge, so I'm interested to see just how much interest we get as a result of the challenge that we've put out. Now, I'm hoping you can't see that little video box on the side that I can see, so I'm just minimising that. So on the 5th of July, 6th of July, earlier this month, we launched our first ever Innovation Challenge, which is focused on zero emission alternatives for small scale, off-grid, mobile or temporary energy provision. And the closing date for this, most importantly, is the 20th of August. So you've got a couple of weeks yet to think about your applications and get them in. It's a really straightforward application process, and we hope to turn applications around really quickly. But I guess from a mobility perspective, you might be questioning, why are we talking about off-grid energy provision and what's the relevance? So Mitchell and Scotland Innovation Park is a new innovation park in Dundee, very much focused on sustainable mobility and decarbonisation. And we see the intimate linkage between the energy networks and the future of mobility being a critical factor for the success of decarbonising transport in the future. Therefore, what we thought was we would look at this particular niche area around off-grid or mobile or temporary energy provision as our first innovation challenge. So around innovation, we're here to help support the development of commercially viable solutions in, as I say, sustainable mobility and decarbonisation. We're here to try and support companies to help them deliver their solutions to the world. And we're wanting to help companies to innovate, to develop new products, to scale up, to manufacture. And we provide a location for companies to do all of that and to grow and succeed in MSIP. So if you're interested to understand more about us, please do take a look at our website. But how we do it is by providing access to funding and networks, building collaborations, providing business support and access to space. And this Innovation Challenge is just our first, as I say, toe in the water around providing that access to funding directly from MSIP, rather than facilitating access through some of the other more standard funding routes, such as through Innovate UK, etc. So why are we running an innovation challenge? Easy for me to say. So we want to support innovative new product and process development projects. We specifically want to look at sustainable mobility and decarbonisation as our focus area. And as an organisation, we are working very closely with the Scottish and UK governments, and we're looking to help support the delivery of their zero carbon emission targets, in particular in Scotland by 2045. And in particular, Scotland's quite challenging transport decarbonisation targets, which are ahead of some of those targets that have been recently intimated for England. So what is the market opportunity for this? Well, it's very broad and very varied. It can include, in the top left of the screen, there is a rather nifty looking old Citroen van, which has been converted into a kind of coffee and cake refreshment stall. That you see many of these at events and things, catering events. Most of them will have some kind of diesel generator at the back. And at the moment, there are very few, if any, alternatives to those diesel generators. There's all sorts of diesel generators on the screen at the moment, but powering of roadworks, for example, mobile lighting rigs, etc. There's all sorts of applications for microgeneration capabilities. So we're looking for projects that will fit into our innovation challenge. And what kind of projects are we looking for? Well, we're looking for ones that absolutely deliver against the zero emission directives that are in place at the moment. So all projects must support the decarbonisation of that off-grid energy provision to some degree, ideally a zero emission alternative rather than just a lower carbon alternative. Any technologies will be considered. We're not picking a particular winner here, so long as they can deliver against that zero emission solution. And importantly, the size of the projects that we're looking for are fairly small scale. The minimum project size is £6,000 and the company must make a contribution of at least £1,000. So MSIP will provide a grant of up to £5,000 or 80% contribution. If the company wants it to be a much bigger project, that's absolutely fine. And we're looking to fund up to around 10 projects, depending on the applications that come in. So it's a fairly small scale fund, but we're really interested to see what interest it generates. So any company can apply into the challenge. The applications have to be led by a company, but they can be collaborative. They can involve universities and other partners, but the lead applicant has to be a company. And I've provided some links here to the application form and to some additional information for you. The application form is quite straightforward. We're not asking for reams and reams of information, I don't think, might be wrong. So it shouldn't take too long to submit to complete the application, and they should be submitted to our info@msipdundee.com email address by the 20th of August. We're operating a single stage assessment process and hope to provide an outcome that can be communicated to all applicants by the 16th of September. And I'm making that statement in writing here, not knowing how many applications we might get. So I know that's a brave statement to make. And we would like all projects to start by mid-October at the latest. So the standard terms and conditions, etc. All the information is available in these links here, and we can provide this slide set after the event. So the information about the challenge is available there. There's a frequently asked questions, the application form, and we have a fairly straightforward terms and conditions of funding. So that's there for you to take a look at in advance of submitting your application. If you do have any further questions that aren't answered through the FAQs, I'm happy to take any questions just now, or similarly, if you want to submit an email to our info@ email address, then we can pick that up and provide a response just as soon as possible. So my contact details are here if anybody wants to get in touch.